Today I'm going to be discussing chapter 15, Work on Your Swing. Excuse me. So, chapter 15 is all about mastering layout managers in Java Swing to control how our graphical user interface components are arranged. So, in order to do that, it introduces border layout, flow layout, and box layouts and shows how to use them effectively. So what is Swing? Swing is basically a Java toolkit for building graphical user interfaces. It includes components such as buttons, labels, text fields, and panels. Secondly, you have a layout manager. Layout manager controls how components are arranged inside a container, such as a window or a panel. So how different components are placed within our UI. Without it, components may overlap or appear in unexpected places. So like, when I read this, I think of like HTML. We have different like div elements, and those div elements are sort of like components which are basically placements on our UIs, essentially on our window. And you have different sections, and then you have different tags that we use in those sections, to place everything in a specific structured frame on our user interface, essentially. This pretty much works the same in a way. So yeah. So the big three layout managers. Border layout. This one divides the container into 5 regions: north, south, east, west, and center. Each region can hold one component. Example: header in north, footer in south, main content in center. So the north would basically be like everything on top of the window. South would be like everything at the bottom of the window, hence why they say footer. So if you think of an application, the north side will be on top. So there'll probably be like where your nav bar is and all the buttons on your nav bar are. Then the south would be like the footer where it shows like basically, for instance, let's see. Let's see with this application. So this would basically be the north side of your application where there's buttons here on the nav bar. Then the footer will basically be like here at the bottom, right? Then the south, which is basically at the bottom. The east is on this side and the west is on this side on the left. So yeah, that's basically what it's saying essentially. Yeah. Flow layout, which is another layout manager, it places components left to right, wrapping to the next line when needed. Default set is JPanel. Then you have a box layout, arranges components either vertically, y-axis, or horizontally on the x-axis. Great for stacking buttons or fields. So yeah. Cool, let's see how this works in our code and how it puts everything together essentially. So I'm gonna run this debugger and explain this code. So firstly, of course, we import Swing. Everything from Swing helps us create our graphical user interface. And then from AWT we get our JButton, our JPanel for like creating buttons and panels and the frame and all of that. So I have a class border layout. It's just a simple class that's gonna show the layout of a border, showing the window frame, the position of sections in the window frame, and so on. So this is my main method, and within it, here the debugger starts where we create an object frame, which is basically the border layout. The title will be border layout example. Stepping over, it's gonna set the frame by saying set default close operation jframe.exit on close, meaning that this is just gonna help us close the window essentially. This is setting the size of the window frame. This is setting the layout of the window frame by passing new border layout object as an argument. Then here we're going to add components to each region. So remember we said there's different regions when it comes to the border layout: north, south, east, west, center. So firstly we add we create our button, new J button, and we're gonna add it north of the window frame. So the name of the button is north, and then how we add it north is a border layout, access the border layout, and then press add dot north, and then this button will be at the top of our window frame. This button will be south of the window frame, east of the window frame, west, which is the left of the window frame, and this one the center of the window frame. This is going to set the window or the UI to visible, so it's going to be shown when we run it, and it shows the UI window. And when you step over, all the functionalities are complete and the UI is created. So as we explained the different regions, we have a button north here, set north, a button east, set east here, button south, set here at the bottom, button west over here, and center. And then this is our whole UI. Cool. That is a summary of chapter 15.